What if the one thing standing between the life that you have and the life that you've always imagined is one decision that you keep putting off? So when I first started this, it was just really all about how to make a really nice luxury handbag. That's it. I thought I would just buy the leather, sew the bag, figure it all out, and just hopefully end up with something beautiful. But somewhere in between researching the leather, waiting on the hardware to come, changing my brand name, making mistakes, ripping seams apart, and starting over several times, I realized that this journey was never really about making a handbag. And don't get me wrong, I love making handbags. I could talk about gussets and zippers and just anything related to a handbag all day long. But this process has been changing me in ways that I never expected. Every time I thought maybe I couldn't do something was when I had to prove myself wrong. And those thoughts have been running through my head a lot lately. Every time I run into just something really hard, that's when the fear creeps in and you tell yourself, maybe you can't do it. Maybe this is not for you. But every mistake has forced me to learn something new. Every setback reminded me that I had two choices. I could either quit or figure it out. And little by little, I'm starting to realize something about myself. I'm starting to become someone who wasn't afraid to try things that I've never done before. I feel like we have this idea that successful people just wake up full of confidence. Like they just always know the right things to do. But I don't think that's how it really works. At least that's not how it works for me. Confidence doesn't show up first. The first step shows up first. Then the second, then another mistake, then another lesson. That's probably one of the biggest surprises on this whole journey. So I'm realizing it's not about handbags. It's about giving myself permission to try things that I've been wanting to try for years. So I just wanted to sit down and talk with you today. No perfect script. And just sharing with you what this journey has taught me so far. Because if just one person watches this and they decide to stop waiting and start their own dream, then every mistake that I've made has been worth it. One thing that this journey has taught me is that you never feel ready. And I know a lot of people really don't want to hear that because you want to feel ready. And we tell ourselves things like, we'll start when we have more time or have more money or have learned everything you need to know about it. Or I'm going to start when I have better equipment. And I think we've all said some version of that because I know I have. But if I would have waited until I felt ready to build my luxury handbag brand, I probably would have never started. Because the truth is, even though you feel like you're ready, every time you reach a milestone, there's more things that you learn and that you realize you don't know. For me, the first thing that I learned was about the hardware. I didn't know about molds and, that they would have to create a mold first before they created the hardware for my bags. I didn't know about leather and all the different types of leather and calfskin and all this different stuff. I didn't know about any of those things. There was so many things, the branding, the trademarks, building my website, for learning photography, how to shoot a really nice product photo, marketing. There's so many things that goes into entrepreneurship and building a business and a brand. It's like every answer I found unlocked 5 more questions. That's when I learned something about entrepreneurship. You don't wait until you know everything. You learn when you get started. So that's been one of the biggest mindset shifts for me, is to stop asking myself, am I ready? And start asking myself, what's the next thing I need to learn? And those two are 2 completely different questions because one keeps you stuck and the other one keeps you moving. And confidence definitely doesn't come from having all the answers. I think confidence comes from proving to yourself that you can figure it all out. And every single challenge on this journey has reminded me that I don't have it all figured out today, but I know how to learn. And sometimes that's all you really need. So now, can I be honest with you about something? I used to think making mistakes was that I made the wrong decision. Like maybe I wasn't cut out for this. Maybe I wasn't ready. But this journey has changed the way I look at mistakes. Take the last bag that I made, for instance, the second prototype. I chose a stabilizer that I thought was going to make the bag feel more luxurious. I really thought this stabilizer was going to be thick and sturdy and just give the bag a really luxurious structure. And when I bought it, in my head, I already had imagined how beautiful it was going to turn out. And then when I put the bag together, this bag was so stiff that I started sweating. Like, it was so hard to turn this bag inside out that I just couldn't even believe. I didn't even know how I was going to get this to turn inside out. And I felt bad because I'm like, I just wasted my money on a whole leather hide for $100 and something. And, you know, and I couldn't turn it inside out. It was just that stiff. Sewing it was difficult, and it just wasn't the experience that I had in my head at all. I really had started to get frustrated, and I was just thinking to myself, I should have known better. The description on the item was a fabric stiffener, and it had reviews that people were saying they wasn't sure if they could even make a handbag with it. It was so thick and stiff. It had some good reviews, but most of the reviews said the exact same thing. So I definitely should have known better. But sometimes we have to give ourselves a little grace. Like, how could I have known until I make the bag? I've never made this exact bag before. I've never used this exact material together before, the calfskin and that hard ass stiffener. I've never used that combination of material before. And there was no way to learn that lesson without actually doing it. And I think that's true in business too. Sometimes we beat ourselves up for making decisions that only experience could have taught us. But experience don't come before decision. Experience becomes because of the decision. And that mistake, it didn't ruin my journey, it just refined it. And now, because of that, I know exactly what I want this bag to feel like. And I know what I don't want. And honestly, I don't think I would have learned it any other way. So if you're afraid of making the wrong decision, here's what I'm going to tell you. Make the best decision that you can with what you know today. And if it doesn't work, adjust, learn, and just keep going. Because mistakes aren't proof that you're failing. Sometimes it's just proof that you're finally doing something that you've never done before. And I think that's a pretty good place to be. This next thing or realization or lesson is that every entrepreneur pays tuition. And I'm not talking about college tuition. We spent all this money going to college. I know I did. I'm talking about the kind of tuition that you learn that no book can teach you. And let me tell you, I paid a lot of tuition. I paid a lot of tuition. You watched me make the second prototype with the genuine leather. I was so disappointed because of the money that I spent. The leather wasn't cheap. The stabilizer wasn't cheap. My time wasn't cheap. It really wasn't wasted money. It wasn't wasted leather. It wasn't wasted time. It was tuition. Well, at least that's how I want to think about it. And every entrepreneur pays it. Sometimes your tuition is buying the wrong material. Sometimes it's launching a product that no one buys. Sometimes it's posting a video that no one views. And sometimes it's just making a decision that when you look back, you would have probably done some things differently. But here's the beautiful thing. You learn from it, so you never really lose. So this next version that I make is going to be so much better because of the mistakes that I made so far. So now when something doesn't go the way that I planned, I try not to ask myself, how much did that cost me? I ask myself, what did it teach me? Because if it taught me something, it wasn't a waste. And then somewhere along the way, confidence quietly caught up. It was tuition, and I have a feeling that I'm going to be paying tuition for a long time. But if it keeps making me a better entrepreneur, I'm okay with that. And then I realized this. Every time I do something that I thought I couldn't do, it made me a different person. And I don't think we talk about that enough because we're so focused on the goal, business, the product, the money. But what if the biggest reward isn't any of those things? I think about the person that I was when I first thought about building a luxury handbag brand. I've never worked with leather like this before. I had never designed my own logo hardware. I had never started building a luxury handbag brand from scratch. So it all felt a little intimidating. There were so many times I thought, can I really do this? Like, am I doing this? And that's when the things that used to scare you, it becomes normal. Things that completely felt like they were out of reach just a little while ago, they weren't that scary anymore. And that's what growth really looks like. You don't wake up a different person one day. You start to become that person. One decision, one mistake, one lesson, one act of courage at a time. And I think that's one of the greatest gifts of this whole entire journey. So yeah, I'm building handbags and I'm making 38 Rosalies, but more importantly, I'm building the confidence to believe that I can keep building whatever comes next, and nobody can take that away from you. or me. The biggest realization of all is that someone has to be the first. And I've thought about this a lot over the past few weeks and months lately. Sometimes I look around at the industry and I think, I don't see too many people who look like me doing this. And for a second, that thought can feel intimidating. But then I remind myself that every industry had a first. Every brand that we admire today started with a person who decided to believe in a decision before anyone else did, who decided to believe in an idea before anyone else did. So instead of asking myself, do I belong here? I started asking, why not me? Not because I think I'm special, not because I know I don't have all the answers, because I've learned that extraordinary things are built by ordinary people who just don't quit. And if my journey encourages one woman to start her business, or encourages one person to dust off that sewing machine, or go buy another one like I did after selling yours at a garage sale, or give someone the courage to finally launch an idea that they've been carrying around for years, then this journey has already been worth it. And if you're watching this today, I hope you stop waiting for permission. And I hope you stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. And I hope you stop believing that your dream has to look like everyone else's to matter. Because the world doesn't need another copy of someone who's already here. It needs the gifts that only you can bring. And this handbag isn't finished yet, and this brand is still being built. And honestly, so am I. There's one thing that I know for sure that this journey has taught me so far. It's this, that the life that you've been imagining, it doesn't begin when you have all the answers. It begins the moment you decide to take the very first step. Whatever your dream is, I hope you start, because nothing beats a failure but a try. And I'll see you in the next chapter of this journey.